thing, apparently. Okay, well. So, game starts. Eternal Fire got the bomb plant. FlyQuest have started the retake. They've got them in advantage and a kit, but the bomb is starting to tick away. They've smoked the defuse, and it doesn't look like DemQ is going to be able to find the diffuser. Okay, that was a little sudden. Let me just double check everything. It's like, oh, why does it say I'm offline? Oh yeah, 3-minute delay. So, okay. I do have a countdown for when. Hang on, I should move this there. A little bit of a tech coming in here. Interesting to see that Story is a FAMAS enjoyer. Don't see a lot of those these days. Okay, audio I think looks good, maybe a little loud. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. Okay, so Eternal Fire have invested 4 rifles. Here's about the standoff that's about to come in. Okay, on Belk, JKS does win that, so everyone left for Eternal Fire is stuck in mid. See if M-Star is able to find a timing onto this window peak. Rigon does come up through Con, not able to get anything done. Star's gonna hear that. It is just 2 players left for Eternal Fire, and one of them's low, so looking like, I mean, I wonder if they'd opt for a save. Never. DemQ actually finds a surprising, an unsuspecting Story in window room. So he's finished off, and then it's just the last guy in Con who goes down. So only the 1 kill for Eternal Fire's Force Spy. Okay, delay should be up. Let me double check this is good. Okay. We're good. Oops. A couple of small investments here for Eternal Fire. Like they're gonna go for a fast-ish pop out of apps. Molly's gonna delay their plan a little bit. This would be a juicy nade for Netic. Here's the 1 bullet. Oh, is that not a... I thought that was a nade, not a smoke. So that smoke is forcing Eternal Fire to, well, at least just delay their apps pop a little bit. This crossfire should really chew up Eternal Fire. Yeah, just taking contact off of each other. It's a little weird how they're not sitting across from the team that they're actually playing. Because before the match went live, I was like, oh, they're still in the warm-up, which is going to be a little bit you know, a bit more time before the game actually starts. And then surprise, the pistol round's half over. So Eternal Fire has their full buy. There is the one Mac 10 on M-Star. We'll see if you can use it to some effect. FlyQuest curiously leaving B completely open early in the round. Maybe just hoping that the way that last round went, that Eternal Fire wouldn't want to do another fast B pop, but that is what they're posturing for. Okay. There are two people who've arrived into the site, one on market, one here on short. Looks like it's the first kill, but he's in a lot of danger. His teammates are arriving quickly and they're pushing into the site. So it is just all onto Waro 2K now. JKS killing him with the spam. Nice. Very clean first gun round from FlyQuest. Looks like we will have a short pause. Any insight on the Discord? No. I'm curious what what reason there is for a tech pause for JKS to be touching his teammate's monitor. I wonder if it's a touch screen. Yo, the Red Bulls have arrived. Just noticed DemQQ is 5 kills. The only person on the team who also has kills is Waro with 1. Curious how many of those were in the pistol round. I didn't really get to see most of that pistol round. It is very different not observing at the same time for the first time. So Eternal Fire just setting up for an A hit. JKS here in Sandwich, and he's kind of cut off from all of his teammates, so he's going to need to get a lot done. DemQ gets an initial shot. JKS does get a spray down of 2. Story jumps down into Sandwich as well. Gets the 3 kills? Okay. Little ballsy, but damn, can't argue with results. Okay, second gun round for Eternal Fire. I feel like they need to start something here. At the very least, they need to start getting some kills. Like, look at the economy of FlyQuest already. Vexite already on 9k, Netic on 9k, JKS on 10k. In's fighting aggressively on mid, but that flash is going to catch him, and that's going to be a clean opening kill from Jota. Nice flash from Waro 2k. Netic, the lone defender of the B site, and there's 2 players who look like they might want to come out apps. We'll see where the Eternal Fire decides they want to end up. It's all about finding like some info or getting an entry somewhere, and they're kind of leaving all their options open. Story fights into con with the op from Ticket, but not able to find any damage onto, I believe that was DemQ. Or did he take damage? Why does he have 50? Op didn't do 50. Regardless, the bomb is going to make its way out of apartments. All onto Nedic. Not able to get anything. So this will be the first plant for Eternal Fire other than the pistol round. This lurk from Rigon could be very effective. Nice spray transfer. So he uses the shadow advantage onto Story to catch him. And then some, like, you know, just nice spray transfer. But then also just like a little bit of the second player just running into his bullets. Still, you got to take advantage of an opportunity like that when it comes. So, like I said, Eternal Fire needed to start their getting some rounds, and then they did a flawless round at that. Wondering if M Star is the IGL for Eternal Fire, because he was the one player I've never heard of, but he is sitting in the middle. Reinvesting for FlyQuest is not going to be an issue from their 5 clean round win streak. Story wanted to take a deep peek into mid. He was slightly dissuaded by the timing on that molly. Now he's just stuck watching this smoke. Still just a default here from Eternal Fire. Half the round has expired. Big an opening fight from Raygon onto, I believe that was Vexite. No damage exchanged. Raygon has very quickly jumped into window. Vexite's turning around like he was going to look for it. Doesn't end up doing it. Raygon actually might get timinged by Vexite here because he's making too much noise. And now Nedic takes the aggro. He sees one short. Okay, Joda actually is able to stop the trade from happening. DemQ comes out window and gets the kill onto the second player on the site. Story has snuck out on market. Weird situation here because DemQ could be pretty much anywhere, and he's actually gone all the way to short. He's going up con into A. And then this work from Loro 2K is what allows this. And Story, is he just going to sit here and watch? This is a little bit of a weird situation. Op on op here in window room. Moro has all the information. Meanwhile, it's DemQ has gone ramp, and then JKS is slowly pushing Palace. But there's just not enough time to really get this done, especially with this crossfire. Yeah, that's going to have to be a save from Story, not really able to find anything. He does get the exit kill to save the op, which is important.
Terrorists win.
Another pause coming in. It's a very aggressive speaking position from the coach of Eternal Fire, like really getting in M-Star's face. Not quite sure who the issue is with here, because it looks like Jota and Demke were looking at something, and then Rigon, the coach, and M-Star were looking at M-Star's PC. No, no updates on the Discord. Well, there's 100 Thieves. We do have a thumbs up. Ooh, can we see any strats? Damn it. Okay, we are back. So despite the money on Eternal Fire, M-Star has invested only in a Mac 10. Curious, but we do have the op-out for Waro 2K. Oh yeah, because he did get a kill. Never mind, he had it in the previous round. I was going to say it's the first time, but misremembering. Looking like it's going to be a very fast B rush for Eternal Fire. Smoke through the molly, pop out. It's only Netic here on the site. He does get the opening kill, not the immediate trade. Story actually comes in from short and gets a double and a triple. They're just walking into his crosshair. Probably the easiest triple of Story's life. There is still enough money in Eternal Fire's bank for a second buy after that loss, but their reserves are definitely running low. Vexite might get this fight onto Rigon here from the window to underneath window. All depends on if Rigon uncrouches at the right time. Or the wrong time, depending on how you look at it. If he throws that molly, he probably will... Okay, it actually goes deeper, and Vexite decides to go all the way into window. It does make noise, but somehow able to avoid pretty much all damage. And then M-Star's going to get boosted into window. Inz is watching for this. So that fight's probably going to happen after the smoke fades. In the meantime, it's going to be who comes out con. Inz smokes that they... Okay, I thought they might go through that quickly, but then because he throws the smoke, M-Star knows it's time to activate, and he gets the kill onto Inz. So now it's all into story here. JKS... Wow, JKS was actually there near ramp, but he wasn't able to get anything. Jota from Cons is the one who takes him out. I was expecting it to be the ramp player, and Vexite gets a kill, and Story comes back in through CT and gets another op kill. It's a 1v3 onto Waro, and Netic actually comes up from ramp and catches him completely off guard. Not the cleanest work from FlyQuest, despite it being 3 players alive.
Counter-terrorists win.
Eternal Fire taking their first tactical timeout. Interesting. So Eternal Fire did have enough for a pretty decent buy, not like everything they would want, but Khalil's and utility, but instead they opt to go for a partial. The only non-pistol gun is this Galil on Jota. So some early footsteps here in apps. Perhaps this was supposed to be a distraction for the players who were just crazy turn deagle headshot from Waro 2K onto Vexite. So he does have the full bomb site. He's not going for the immediate plant. So I feel like there's not really much of a chance for him here. Yep. I was wondering if those early footsteps in apps were supposed to be a distraction for those 2 players to come up. I don't know if it was ramp or if it was mid, but then the players in apps just got smoked off, and the lurk activated, got nothing done, and then, well, at that point the 3 players left in apps had no choice but to run out and at least try. So here's the full buy that Eternal Fire were saving for. They really want to finish this this first half 8-4. Any less than that is not the greatest. Although I'm not sure how long this team has been together. I feel like Rigon is a pretty recent addition, and so you never know. Sometimes there's just like with new teams, they're really good at one half and not so great on the other. Story does find the opening op kill onto Rigon. Made that a little bit too easy for him. Oh, Vexite killed Jota. Okay. All members of Eternal Fire just completely spread out here. DemQ is going to sneak up through this con smoke, and no one's watching it at the moment. Okay, JKS will spot him trying to clear this. Very fast headshot from him. DemQ is going to have to activate up ramp, but yeah, he's just going to go right into the op. Tough fight. And nice peek from Vexite onto the last player of Eternal Fire. And that was all of Eternal's Fire invested into that round. So now they only have, well, they're not going to have very much money going into this final round of the half. Despite that, they have managed to buy 5 AKs. 3 players with no head armor and not very much utility. But we'll see if they're just able to shoot their way into a round win. Just playing this one fast. I like it. Nice change. Jota, I don't know if he actually... Sometimes that's just... Okay, maybe a little bit too aggressive on that one. JK has an in find a trio of kills. So despite that early 5-on-3 advantage, it's now the advantage for FlyQuest. Now Dick knows Woro's here. Yeah. M-Star all on his own. He does have the bomb. And he will have an open plant, assuming he really commits to this. Nedic is not going to be here fast enough to deny it, although he's clearing out the bomb site a little bit. He will get the bomb. Oh, he doesn't get the bomb down. He doesn't stick it. How do you even cross on this? You don't, is the answer. So a 10-2 half for FlyQuest. I did kind of have them as like the favorites in this matchup, but I wasn't expecting this heavy. Not sure if we have a halftime break here, or if it's just like a few seconds. It's my first time doing anything for this event. I'm gonna increase the volume just a little bit. Well, despite the lead for FlyQuest, at least Eternal Fire seemed to be in good spirits. Whose map pick is this, by the way? Eternal Fire picked Mirage. That's what I thought, but I thought I'd double check. It seems there might be a few minutes between halves. Okay, I was trying to figure out who this team was in front of FlyQuest. I was like, I thought that was Hades, but yeah, okay, the BetClick logo does confirm that. Okay, getting back into it. I didn't know how much time we had, so I didn't want to like start a, I don't know, whatever. So here's the thing about airplane flute. So 4 players for FlyQuest's T-side pistol. are posturing towards A. They do have the one lurk in Vexite, who's just clearing out underpass at the moment. I assume Inns is probably lining up utility. Waiting for a specific time. Okay, the utility goes out. Did that miss? I can see where it bounced. Okay, not the greatest clear onto the player on balcony, but then they are able to trade, and they have found a 2v4 advantage. Should be able to get this bomb down very cleanly. No way for Eternal Fire to deny it. Although they do get, MStar does get the entry onto the site, but not able to find anything more. Unfortunately, I think that does pretty much seal it for this first map. Eternal Fire investing because, of course, you don't want to give up OT and try to come back 12 to 10, 12 to 2, excuse me. They are stacking very heavily on B. FlyQuest, meanwhile, are just kind of holding, defaulting. Haven't really taken much space mid. Well, they must have heard me despite the fact that I'm on a 3-minute delay, because they're all rotating towards A. It would be a good call, although they don't want to wait too long. Still, Eternal Fire, believing in their stack, have not even started the rotate yet. Now, yeah, now I would start to rotate. Let's see if Inns is able to cut anyone off from rotating from short.
Bomb has been planted.
Eternal Fire are still quite a long ways away. Actually, Inns not really able to get... Okay, now he's finally getting the fight, but he doesn't get anything, and then Rigon gets a follow-up deagle. Vexite's going to see like 3 players and not able to get any kills. There's barely even any damage. Rigon with another 1 deeg. It's a 1v5 for Netic with the MP7. DemQ's just, yeah, it's just sticking it. Well, I mean, despite stacking the wrong site, Eternal Fire able to come across with the win, and I mean, if they were going to make the comeback, that's how it would start with, yeah, okay, they lost the pistol round, but winning the follow-up force buy is much more important. But they will need to be pretty much perfect for the rest of the map. And 2 rounds in, MStar already has the same amount of kills on the CT side as he did on the entire T side. Ooh, FlyQuest look like they're going to do the classic strat of 4 players run out apps onto B, and then the last player secretly waits and plants on A. Although the opening going that way may mean that it's not going to go as planned. Although MStar does get dinked, so maybe it will end up working. I think it's looking like this is going to go too cleanly for them on B for that to work. They need to all rush out as a team. Yeah, Vexite has been seen. No plant for them.
Counter-terrorists win.
Inns does get a deagle kill, so small amount of damage for what it's worth. First rifle round from FlyQuest. Didn't quite have enough for everything they wanted. Two Gleals, actually. And not a ton of utility. Woro2K bringing out the op pretty early. Looking like he will be tested with it. It will actually be up onto DemQ. He does get the smoke down in time. Are they going to push through it? Yes, they are. And in fact, they had one player jump spotting from CT, but they had a nade out in their hand, so they weren't able to assist. And so FlyQuest get the entry, and then one is traded, but then they get a follow-up. So it is a 3 versus 4. There's two players lurking late in mid, and I don't think Eternal Fire are ready for it. Both remaining players are... Excuse me, one... Never mind. Both remaining players are gone from the server. Completely deleted from those headshots from FlyQuest. What's this guy have in his notes? I'm curious. I don't actually use those, so I'm wondering what players use them for. Woro2K does have just enough money to bring out the op. The only other good gun on for the side of Eternal Fire is that M4 on M-Star. The rest is two FAMASes and a pistol, so the pressure really is on Woro to get an opening kill with that op, which he hasn't really been able to do. I can only think of like maybe one round on the T side where he was able to get, I forget if it was 1 or 2 kills with the op, but other than that, I feel like he hasn't done very much with it. Jota is getting aggressive up mid. He's gonna win the fight with the FAMAS. Ooh, but nice trade from Inns through the smoke. Able to find Jota before he's able to fall back. In the meantime, Rigon has actually pushed up all the way up into mid boxes. So that's a lot of information. And FlyQuest are just kind of holding passively. Heading towards this A site, they bogged down the op over to Inns. This is where this op of Woro2K really needs to find something. FlyQuest try to come out dry. Woro2K gets the opening kill, and then DemQ gets JKS out in apps, who's looking to trade Woro2K, and it looks like FlyQuest are just going to have to save. There's only 10 seconds left. So Eternal Fire will be keeping this game alive. I do enjoy how Rigon can be all smiles even when it's 12-5 against them. I feel like that's probably important on a team. Is JKS going to be stuck with a Glock? No, someone's going to drop him a Deagle. I assume the timeout was just to sort out their buy, because this is a little strange. Still, I remember a JKS Deag. Underpass fight. Oh! Vexite, he doesn't know it, but he just had a timing to find Jota as he was about to fall back, but then perfect flash on out mid. But then 2 more trades come from the side of Eternal Fire, so probably not worth it for FlyQuest. Awkward fight from Story, but Rigon's happy to just fall back and play the man advantage. Okay, this round I will not remember a JKS Deag. Last 2 players just going to try and push B. Stars here, and they have Wara 2K rotating in as well, so I feel like this is not going to happen. Full eco other than a flash. You're just going to be checking it down mid, see what happens. Wara 2K is here with the op, so they're just hoping to blind him and get past his line, but he's just able to get the initial kill and keep re-peeking. FlyQuest looking like they want to do something different, just going to do a fast A hit. Slight lean of Eternal Fire over towards this site, so not a bad call. Are going to flash Waro off from this angle. They're able to get out in time. No, they're not able to get any opening kills at all into the site. JKS is the only one who is able to get one, and it's just immediately traded. You know where the last player is now. And he gets nothing done at all. Little bit messy looking from FlyQuest. I mean, I did kind of say it. Sometimes when you're talking about a team who hasn't been together that long, sometimes they just look really bad on one side, and then they get to the other half, and they're much more competent. FlyQuest looking like they want to do a similar story to the previous round, but this time with worse weapons. Waro 2K does push down ramp, but he's not able to get... Okay, now the nade damage comes in. Now it's just all onto these 2 players in Palace, and well, now it's all onto JKS, who doesn't look like he wants anything to do with that. And JKS is just going to get shot in the side of the head. So 5 alive for Eternal Fire. Absolutely nothing getting done for FlyQuest. I'm wondering if Story wants to get out the op here. He did save a bit more money than his teammates. I don't believe he's had one all half. Story taking that AWP, and he's taking it towards the apartments, but then there's no one actually there at all. Jojo's looking like he wants to push through this, and even if he would have gotten one, he would have gotten instantly traded from INS. Vexite coming up from underpass, not able to get anything done. Evening that up to a 4 versus 4. This is a heavy advantage fight for World 2K. So there goes that op on Story. Excuse me, 1 second. Sorry about that. I am back now. So I am assuming, by the way, that they are still sitting in their seats and that FlyQuest did not actually manage to win the map. Two more chances. FlyQuest saving their pennies for the last round. Partial investment coming out right here. That's going to be a juicy nade from M-Star. Does fall back. Woro 2K gets the opening kill from short. 3 players here. So again, it's looking like it's going to be nothing done for FlyQuest.
Counter-terrorists win.
Only Rigon going down there. And the coach of Eternal Fire looking rightfully, like he getting hyped up for very apparent reason, because FlyQuest have looked pretty one-dimensional so far. Final chance for FlyQuest to take it in regulation. Story gets the op-out again. Story finally going to be taking this mid-fight with that AWP. Well, he is playing more passively than I would have expected. He's actually letting his riflers go first. That said, Eternal Fire are happy to give up mid-control to FlyQuest. They're just playing in the sites. Is this going to be a late B split, or okay? Actually, they are boosting Vexite up into mid. M-Star has been watching for this the entire round. It's all about who takes first contact. In's trying to make a distraction in Con, but the real hit is coming out on B from Abs. Inns is actually able to find the first kill onto Woro2K on the other side of the map. And that immediately calls back FlyQuest. And I don't like this call because there's still more players on A from Eternal Fire. And they only have 15 seconds. Vexite actually finally comes out from window, gets a kill onto Jota, but they don't know about Demq here on the site. Could be a multi-spray down, and at the very least you can just play to deny the bomb. They haven't started planting. They need to win by kills. That's it. that was 8 in a row for Eternal Fire, I think. Yeah, just an unfortunate call for FlyQuest where they get the opening kill onto the A site when they were planning a B hit, only for their Eternal Fire to have stacked A, and so they actually lead. They run straight into the pack, and they just get annihilated. Sometimes that kind of call works out perfectly, and sometimes it backfires. I wonder if we're gonna get the classic where a team has match point, can't win the map the map for like 10 rounds, only for it to go to overtime, and they immediately get the first round. Eternal Fire have been taking mid pretty aggressively this round, but this is the one round where FlyQuest is not fighting for it at all. I would like to see Story taking more aggressive angles with the op. Like, I feel like you should be fighting stairs instead of just passively holding for a ramp push. He does get the opening kill. JKS spots one more. So he should have a foothold into the site. Eternal Fire actually rotating, perhaps just trying to play for a retake, but then they go right into the lurk of Vexite, who is able to be traded. Can I see the site? I mean, I guess they just got the other 2 kills on the 2 guys who are actually on the site, but... What did I say? Weird spot for Inns to be this late in the round, but... Demq, like, yeah, he doesn't really have any chance of winning this, so he's just opting to save the AK.
Terrorists win.
I believe he's not going to be able to save it. So I did have some criticism for Story, but then kudos to him. He did get the 2 kills when it really mattered. Perhaps FlyQuest feeling a bit of confidence from that previous round are going fast up mid. We're going to be watching this from short. He goes down to the op of Story, so again, opening kill from Story, good for him. And a second from Story. They are going into a little bit of a crossfire. Okay, crazy 1-tap from JKS. It was like a 2-tap, but still. I know Jota's here in Con. The other player is... Oh, okay, it's an Opera. I thought it was M-Star. M-Star was the first one to go down. Okay, Woro2K does finally take down Story, but it's too late to win the round. He's just going to be saving. Will his save be more successful than DemQ's? Actually making the perfect read to go up short. Everyone else is coming through market or from apps. Oh! I think that was blind spam, but then... Wow, okay, that was almost a kill onto Burrow, preventing him from saving the op. And that would have been the only... Like, if they were able to stop the op save, then Eternal Fire wouldn't have enough money to bring one out unless they did, like, a glass cannon. As it is, 3 FAMASas and an MP9. Okay, FlyQuest waiting at that apartment's molly and then going to be pushing behind it. Start taking a little bit of an off angle. He peeks in, he sees 1, maybe 2. He's going to throw his utility. And that is not going to make FlyQuest hesitate. They go with a flash, but then M-Star gets a nade kill. Jota with bringing out that FAMAS for another. This lurk from Story in mid is going to be... Okay, Story actually is going to be successful getting that kill into Jota. Story... What a weird round. So Vexite is stuck here in Van, waiting for his teammate short. They were 2K and Story both missed each other. Bomb still has not gone down. DemQ is still really far away. He's almost in the exact same spot as Story spotted him like 20 seconds ago. He is going back to check it. No one dies. Okay, DemQ gets a jumping MP9 kill onto him somehow. It's, yeah, the round with the 3 FAMASes and the MP9 is the one in overtime that Eternal Fire are finally able to win. Looks like we might have a little bit of a headset issue. Perhaps a big headset issue? Yeah, I agree with Story not having a good T side. Like, I was looking at his score and it's like, wow, he has a lot of kills, but I remember he got most of those kills in that first half. He did step up in overtime, though. I think Sponge was casting this game too, but he's Australian, so I don't know if you count that as English. Has the 100 Thieves game started? It looks like it has. I'm trying to read that. If it's... Is it... Oh, 3-9. Okay. So 100 Thieves looking like they have a big lead. Okay. We are back into the game. So FlyQuest did destroy Eternal Fire on their CT side, but once it gets to overtime, like, you never know what's going to happen. Jota very, very fast up short, and Netic is not at all ready for this. Despite that, he gets the kill onto Jota. Okay, so it is all into Ins and Vexite. Eternal Fire get the bomb planted. World gets an opportunity, but not able to hit the shot. Is a molly to flush out Rigon, or does it not? Okay, no, it doesn't go far enough. That CT molly. Vexite is finally coming up short. but with his teammate going down, he just doesn't have any way to clear out. What's that? DemQ. So, like I said, it's once it gets to overtime, things go out the window. Doesn't matter how good they were on their in regulation if they just can't convert the rounds in overtime. Story, who is so good with that op in the regulation on the CT side, peeking down mid, but Eternal Fire are actually turning away from that fight, looking like they want to head into A. K looking like he wanted to come out from Palace and get a peek onto CT, onto Ticket, excuse me, but that smoke is going to dissuade him. Jota tries to come out underpass, is spotted, and he might be trying to make noise, or might just be trying to join his teammates quickly, but either way it will not be heard. In the meantime, JKS gets the opening kill onto ramp, gets a double spray down. Something he was very good at in the first half. All the players from FlyQuest are at least here, so it's 4v3. They should know where everyone is. Vexite... Okay, Vexite is... Okay, JKS gets the opening kill, takes the aggro, Vexite peeks in and trades him, and then Story finishes off DemQ. That's pretty much how the first half looked for FlyQuest. So one match point here for FlyQuest. Eternal Fire taking their tactical timeout. Boro2K looking like he wants to take an early peek up ramp. No, he actually opts to go into Palace instead. Never mind, I have my numbers mixed up. Boro2K is going to be the one throwing this utility, but it is going to be an A execute. JKS not able to see anyone before he gets smoked off. But FlyQuest have made the decision to rotate all of their players. JKS gets the opening. Story gets another one as well. And now no one's looking at Vexite as he comes out from CT. And he just gets a clean triple spray down. And so that's a map win for FlyQuest. Wow. I mean, Eternal Fire made it competitive despite how it looked in the first half. A little bit shaky from both teams at some points, but FlyQuest not able to let that rattle them too much, and they're able to make the comeback. And so that was the pick of Eternal Fire. So it'll be FlyQuest's map pick of, what is it? Of Dust 2. Oh, FlyQuest picked Dust 2. I didn't think of this as that much of a Dust 2 team. I guess Eternal Fire banned Inferno as their ban, so that's what I think of as when I think of FlyQuest. Okay, so meantime, let's see how the other games are going. Sashi bench Siphon, interesting. So 100 Thieves are currently leading 10-4, so it looks like someone, I believe it was 9-3 when we saw earlier, so someone won the pistol round and then the other team won the conversion. Heroic are up one map on Cybershock. Is that it? Yeah, there were a few delays here for this final match of DraculaN. Well, I guess I can turn on I can turn on the 100 Thieves map while we wait. Probably just put. Well, thank you, Estelari. I appreciate it. I'm pretty new to this, to be honest. So who has been shooting well? I've been a little bit disappointed in Hades' performance so far, because I tend to think of him as someone who's like really good in Tier 2, but this is a Tier 2 tournament, and he hasn't been that impressive so far. And actually, everyone from 100 Thieves seems to be fragging. Four players coming down to secret. Device not actually looking the right way. So that... Okay, 100 Thieves maybe overcooking this round a little bit too much. They're going to try to push these two players who are squeaky door, but then the ramp player... Crazy classic Rain moment, and now it's a 1v1 somehow. But this is going to need to be an instant headshot from Rain. Not able to make that classic Rain headshot, unfortunately. 2 was the limit. So it looked like BetClick won the... Is BetClick? Yes, BetClick won the pistol round. And it looked like 100 Thieves won the Force Buy just looking at the economy. And then now BetClick is taking the Force Buy back. I mean, if you're 100 Thieves, you're kind of fine with that since they have such a big lead. Actually, believe it or not, if I were to delete System 32, it wouldn't give more FPS because I'm not the one doing this stream. Technically, the feed's coming from someone else, so it wouldn't help. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. One versus one. Sorry, 1 kill for 1 kill. That's what I was trying to say. But then the rest of the ramp push... Oh, ramp, Jesus. The rest of the lobby push comes in, and 100 Thieves not able to deal with that at all. It's weird jumping into the middle of a game. Like, I haven't seen any story op kills. What's going on? So that is the last 2 members of 100 Thieves spotted. Boyaz turned it into a 1v3 with the bomb. Does have an avenue to plant, maybe, but he's doesn't know, so he just tries to go for the fight. need just to make sure. Just keeping an eye on the time, because I'll switch back to the Eternal Fire FlyQuest game once that starts up again. Pretty much full eco here for 100 Thieves. Hades will spot a player red. Expecting this player Secret Stairs to come up on that contact. Yep. See if Rain is able to catch Eski here unsuspecting. But he does look pretty aware.
Counter-terrorists win.
So the BetClick are playing a very aggressive outside setup here. The first does go down immediately to Poi, and they seem at least aware of the possibility that someone is on red. That last player outside in Hades is able to get a kill, but he has taken a lot of damage back, and he goes down to Syra. And Agile finds the lurk in lobby to Eski, and it's on to Demho from the ramp. I'd say the only way this could go wrong is that 100 Thieves aren't playing as a group and they're not like pushing to get a plant really quickly. And it looks like the bomb's coming right to him, but Rain is at least keeping his gun up. It does go down, not dealing any damage. Emma has some info. And despite that, he made no noise, and they had no idea where he actually ended up. He's going to come into this fight on Agile. He gets the kill onto him, too? It's now a 1v1. How does Syra play this?
Terrorists win.
I wanted to see that to see that clutch one, actually, from Demho. Okay, 100 Thieves have actually managed to take the A site really quickly. They got an opening 2 kills. Syra gets a nice shot through the smoke. I don't know if DraculaN was trying to spray back, and then he was able to track him using his tracers, but that's a very fast round for 100 Thieves, and now it's going to be BetClick trying to save. So that'll be map point found for 100 Thieves. They are coming for this off on Hades. Boy, it does take him down. I mean, the 2 kills from Hades, it will make a small dent in a 100 Thieves economy. I think as long as someone drops some weapons over, they'll be fine. And you don't feel too good about like, well, we did some damage to their economy when the other team's on match point. Lots of timeouts in this game. So Device getting the op out. It looks like he's the lowest fragger on his team, and there's only one player on the server with less frags than him. So not the Device that people really want to see. But if anything, he knows how to use the op on Nuke. So let's see what he does with it. There won't be an immediate sniper head-to-head because, well, BetClick don't have enough money for a sniper. They could have gone for a scout, I guess, but not enough money to bring out the op for Hades. Poi finds the opening kill onto Hades in Heaven. It looked like Hades could have won that fight, but he does have to deal with the FAMAS, and no one likes the FAMAS. Two versus 5. Device finds the 1. It's all onto Eski in a 1v5. Okay, 100 Thieves win. I believe that was the first map. All right. I will just. There's probably. The Eternal Fire FlyQuest game is probably not back yet, but I'll just sit on the. In the server. I'm not in the server, the feed. Okay, we have players taking their seats, so it actually maybe won't be that long. I keep switching to like every time I tab out, I keep like remembering to tab back into the feed because I'm used to being in the game, but it just ends up pausing the feed. It's nice to not have to concentrate on observing, but I don't know. It's just different, I guess. Let me go ahead and check how Eternal Fire and FlyQuest have done on Dust 2, because I haven't watched much of these teams lately, so I'm curious if well, how they're doing. Matches. Is there? I don't know if there's an easy way to do this on HLTV. So in FlyQuest's last series, they did not play Dust 2. Wonder for that they didn't play it either. They did play it in, what is this, the grand finals of some Asian tournament. They didn't play it. Okay, they did play it in that tournament again. It looks like that might be their go-to when they don't want to play Inferno. Okay, so they do play it. It's just a case of me not having seen them at a tournament lately. Because the last time I saw them would have been Budapest. That was last year. Wow. Oh, that was still when they had Regali. Huh. I was going to say, that does feel like a long ago. Oh, we're getting into it. Okay, I had HLTV covering that. Starts muted. Thank you. It's hard to tell because there's no sound during the breaks. So Eternal Fire curiously stacking 4 towards A. Okay, no, that's just an immediate setup to see if there's a fast long pop. I mean, they have spread it a little bit more, but they're still only DemQ holding B solo. But luckily for Eternal Fire, it looks like FlyQuest want to go towards A. Perhaps they have been looking at HLTV in the last time that they have played Dust 2 and saying they go A a lot. They're just like me. In the meantime, as I'm talking nonsense, so well, yeah, people died. I don't know. Nutty shot from JKS. It's all onto DemQ with the dualies. Oh my god, another dink? What are these headshots? Oh my god. My P250 doesn't do that. Holy. So FlyQuest, despite winning the round, I mean, they didn't get a bomb plant because they didn't have the time, but 3 SMGs coming out. Interesting. Usually see more rifles. So Eternal Fire are again leaning more towards A. B this time is actually completely empty. MStar could find a timing here and get this 1v1, but no, DemQ in the meantime does come out through, I believe it was mid-Doris. He was the only one able to get a kill, although Rigon does get what I assume was a nice 1-deeg. But it's not enough to keep it even. It's a 1v3 for World 2K with the Scout. Don't see too many of those. Does get the first headshot. Strats leaked? Oh. I can't read any of those words. Story getting the op out early. Almost a little surprising considering this is going to be not quite an eco, but a light investment round for Eternal Fire. But even despite that, he's able to get the opening kill down mid. 3 members of Eternal Fire just playing solo. So even if someone's going to walk into their crosshair, it's unlikely they get a multi-kill. Jojo's just been sitting in pit all round.
Bomb has been planted.
I was almost wondering if he crashed, but then he turned. I mean, Eternal Fire, like, I guess they're just trying to play exits, but they don't really have that much worth saving.
Terrorists win.
Yeah, they're not even chasing here after the round was done, because, like, Eternal Fire took a whole bunch of bomb damage, so I don't know why they didn't push. I mean, I guess you get, you know, they keep their armor, but that was really all there is worth saving. You know what? I take it back. That is that armor that the remaining members of Eternal Fire saved was pretty much the difference between them getting an M4 or a FAMAS or an MP9 or an MP7. So all 5 players from FlyQuest heading into tunnels early. Okay, here comes the execute. DenQ's blind. He does deal some damage, and then Rigon is able to trade it and get the kill. Just 3 players here, and so far FlyQuest is not able to find anything, and this peak is going to be a lot of damage. Yeah, that's going to clean it up for Eternal Fire. I mean, in terms of a clean round, that is the definition of one. Not a single kill for FlyQuest. Turn this up just a little bit. Enough money for a follow-up buy from FlyQuest. Where 2K going to be boosted here looking into tunnels. Looks like there might be a fight coming his way. Flash is not going to blind him it. Rotor not able to hit the shot, takes a bunch of damage in return. Okay, nice shot from Vexite, and he's actually taking a lot of space here. He's going to smoke this. So now Eternal Fire have to be very scared of this mid to B, and with the only defender currently on B going down, that's probably just going to seal the round for FlyQuest. Why are they not? Why do they have their knife out in CT in T spawn? So, yeah, a little bit of a weird round. I mean, perhaps a lucky kill from Vexite through the smoke. Unfortunate for Waro2K to miss the op shot. And then, excuse me, DemQ being the lone defender on B, and he just felt like he had to push tunnels, and then he just runs into all of FlyQuest. But I don't know. That save was a little questionable, if you ask me. And then despite saving nothing, actually, Eternal Fire actually able to scrape together a pretty good buy. 4 M4s and an op. Looks like we're going to have an op fight between... Oh, Warwick Day just manages to peek away when Story peeks into him, and then he comes back in, and Warwick 2K is able to take him out. Early man advantage for Eternal Fire, and FlyQuest doesn't have a ton of space taken. And that's a pretty decent nade as well. All 4 of these members between... Well, are they going back towards B? Okay, that's just going to be JKS watching the flank. Maybe deciding they want to do a mid to B here. There's no one here watching this from Eternal Fire, but they're going to smoke off B main, so that's going to make this a little bit tricky. I should hear the footsteps mid to B. Rigon was playing anti-blast. As soon as he turns around, he gets flashed. In finds the opening onto DemQ, and then Rigon gets nothing. Vexite actually is able to find the op of Warrior 2K as well. He's gonna see one more player. Can't quite get the spray, but like, that's enough, I think, to seal the round. Actually, Emster might be closer than they're ready for. Okay, well, he doesn't get any kills, and now Jota's going to be cut off by this lurk from JKS. Okay, FlyQuest definitely showing that they do have some prowess on this map. They picked it for a reason. Tactical timeout for Eternal Fire. I mean, no matter what they talk about, they're still not going to have very much going into this round. Some upgraded pistols. Some players not investing anything at all, although they may just be buying a little bit late. Yeah, give me those noises. I love them. FlyQuest moving fast up mid. I think that Eternal Fire looking like they want to push through long doors. Once the smoke has faded, they haven't pushed yet. Jota just passively playing in the site, and then FlyQuest will be fast up cat before anyone's able to rotate, really, at all. I think it's blinded. I mean, he's going to throw the nade. Now's the time. Doesn't delay them much, although it does delay them enough for that flash to come over, but Jota doesn't peek with it. There's just too many players here. Vexite in combined to kill all the players who are on A. JKS should be watching this plank from DemQ. Or, nope, finds the timing. But regardless, they're not going to be able to find a way into this round. DemQ should just be saving that AK-47. Woro will probably get a fight here. Perfect flash, honestly.
Terrorists win.
Great read from Inns to know exactly what's going on. Three players went fast ton. The bomb is going to be sitting here, back towards T spawn. Okay, they're just... Well, perhaps they're doing that to... They're expecting Woro to be playing short, boosted again. So they're doing that to avoid peeking into him. I'm guessing. Is Story about to be tested from this? I'm not sure if Jota looking like he wants to push this mid door or if he's just playing anti-flash. Actually, FlyQuest deciding they don't want anything to do with that at all, and it's just going to be a simple B or a simple A execute. MStar does find the opening kill, and then they hear this this op from Woro 2K, but he misses his initial shot, and he goes down before he's able to fire again. There is going to be a jump up from Rigon. Yes? No? Oh, the bomb was dropped long, and JKS, how do you not win that fight? That was such a good round from... Wow, very aggressive. It doesn't look like he's angry at MStar from Eternal Fire, but just making sure to really emphasize his point and make sure it gets across. Yeah, that was like a great round from FlyQuest. They just didn't get any kills. It was the two players. Was it two? I'm not sure if there was two players that went long, and neither of them were able to kill the player in pit. And then the bomb got dropped, and then even the players who came up short weren't able to really find anything other than that kill into Woro 2K. DemQ will hear some footsteps. Just taking a contact play, but Vexite falls back after no damage is exchanged between the two. Silence falls across Dust 2. But it wouldn't last. FlyQuest have done this mid to B smoke, but then Jota's pushing through it, and then actually Vexite is able to get him through the smoke there. Or through the doors, I don't... in the meantime, MStar is pushed through long doors, and he will be able to get a flank onto JKS. Everyone else has already turned the corner. Actually, MStar is making too much noise. JKS is going to hear him. Why are you making noise? JK does get an op kill, and he is ready for the players who dropped CT, but not able to find the kills. Now it's just going to be the two players on B who are basically have no choice other than to save.
Bomb has been planted.
Yeah, I feel like that's this... Oh, I thought my game froze, but no, okay. JKS is just a very passive and patient player. That's like, I feel like that's the second time where I've noticed MStar running when I feel like it was pretty obvious that he shouldn't be and getting caught because of it. Okay, FlyQuest are trying to shut down this save. They have found the one guy, but it's Rigon with the op here, and he's not really able to defend himself with just the op with his teammate going down like that. So no save for Eternal Fire. Despite that, Eternal Fire are able to get the op out anyway. I feel like it hasn't really been the difference maker for them and when they have been able to get it out, but there is a really aggressive push from Rigon up top mid, able to get the opening kill, but instantly traded from Vexite. There's another player here though. FlyQuest are ready for it. Actually, all said and done, it is a 3 versus 1 for FlyQuest, excuse me. Only player left alive is Waro2K with that op. And I'm not sure where FlyQuest is going to decide to end up because, okay, they are going to join up with JKS on B. It looks like they were second guessing it because there's no info for where Waro2K is, or has been, I think, all round. JKS is about, oh, okay. This could be a round winning position if he does not go checked, because he is tucked in deep. Definitely possible to get an opening kill and fall back immediately. There it is. JKS has made his way to car, which is perhaps deeper than expected. Actually, that nade doesn't get used to break the smoke, which maybe would have been more effective. But still, there is a... Okay, story is sharp enough to get that. Okay. That, I mean, that, like I said, that could have gone Waro2K's way. He was in the exact right position to make that a winnable round. I mean, at the very least, Eternal Fire do have a lot of loss bonus, so like they can do like a pretty decent buy and then another decent buy in the following round, or they can do a small buy here and a full buy in the final round. JKS has unfortunately left the server. This is the same scoreline as it was back on a Mirage. It was 8-2 for FlyQuest. The only difference is that it was their CT side. I believe it ended 9-3. Like I think FlyQuest won the got the 9th round first, and then Eternal Fire had a low buy that they ended up converting. I do miss being able to see what players are typing in the chat. A lot of the time it's just, you know, not live or ready or whatever, but sometimes it is entertaining. So Rigon the only M4, looking like he doesn't want to do another aggressive play like the previous round. Or was that 2 rounds ago? I don't remember. That was the previous round, yeah, it was just really drawn out. So Eternal, okay, that Molly is going to drive that stack back. They are going to push, and now Rigon should push with it, but then Vexite's ready. Instant headshot, which actually, if he didn't get that headshot, he was definitely dead because he has 12 HP. And this reposition could get him another kill on such low health. And it does. In the meantime, both remaining players from Eternal Fire have pushed lower. They have at least recovered 2 rifles now. But in the meantime, FlyQuest have taken the A site. Not gotten the bomb planted just yet, but they have 3 players here. It's all going to come down to this long fight. Story and Dota. Story has to hit the shot. Okay, he does. It's all onto Waro 2K. Waro 2K just checks the wrong way. I was just watching Hades there, and I'm like, okay, never mind. I thought we were at the halftime break. I'll hold that thought. So ends with the opening kill long. It is a full buy for Eternal Fire. After losing that opening kill, they've actually decided to very heavily rotate towards A. 3 players here. Jota with the smoke. If he... Oh no! Okay, well, I feel like In's had a very heavy advantage on that fight, but then pulling up the utility. Netic does get just a clean fight onto Rigon. Orchike here's the op. He's looking like he wants to go through the smoke. Meanwhile, DemQ is going to hear at least 2 players. Gets the first, but then very fast trade from Vexite. Now all onto Jota, who's still low from that that weird fight with Ins. Story does miss the shot, turning this into a 1v2. Netic on 1 HP. The only thing that makes this doable. He doesn't have a kit, so I don't think he even has enough time to win the round anymore. And not able to clear the right position, so... This time it is FlyQuest who are able to find that 10th round. Like I was saying, so I was just watching Hades, and he like turned 90 degrees, and he had to like swipe his mouse like 3 times, and it's like, I don't understand how people play on such low sensitivity. See, clearly the sensitivity was the issue with that miss there. Okay. Oh, is that 3-5 for the CT side? I'm just trying to read the score on the monitor. So yeah, 4-5. So relatively even game. That's BetClick on the CT side, 100 Thieves on the T side. I mean, like I said, at least Raygon is able to, enjoy playing the game, smile, and try to cheer up his team, which must be difficult considering you just barely lost the your map pick, and now you're down 10-2 in the second map. We were in a 3v3 on the BetClick match, then Hades goes down on the B site. And then if you want to find out what happens next, you'll have to go and find another stream. Or wait until the next time the camera cuts back to it at least. All right, we have a very silent pistol round here. Okay, we're back. All 5 players from Eternal Fire coming out long. Netic, the only player who was responsible for long, not really actively trying to contest it, just letting them have it, playing for a retake. I don't think they have any idea as to how many people came out long, though. Kinetic will be checking it now. Seeing nothing. Suddenly sees 2 or 3 people, falls back. Fire. Perhaps waiting out some utility or waiting for the fight to come their way. And they do, and they get the better of them. There's now 3 versus 4, although Inns gets a smoke kill on the cross, so that makes it even. All 3 players here. Oh, that was another kill. Okay, Netic gets another kill, so now Woro2k trades the guy on the site, so they know where Netic is. And they'll know Inns is here as well. How's DemQ play this? Okay, DemQ and Woro2k actually have decided to go towards B. Netic really not sure whether he wants to drop CT and fight. He actually ends up doing it and goes down. Fake plants. So there should be a trade for Woro2k. Yeah, well played. I was when I first saw them posturing to make that the decision to go towards B, I wasn't sure it would work out because I thought that it would be possible for Netic to just drop and get them while they're trying to run there, but I guess they were also the side of FlyQuest was also worried that, well, as soon as they hear us drop, they'll just stop and we'll be in a 2 versus 1 fight. Is it the first festival round for Eternal Fire? I know they won the Force Spy on one of them in Mirage. In the meantime, the weapon advantage doesn't seem to be doing them too much good. It is a 3v3 at this long fight, and there was actually a fair bit of damage done to the remaining members of Eternal Fire. Story is going to be smoked, so he's not going to be able to do much for the next 20 seconds or so. Excite gets an opportunity, but not able to find anything. The bomb's not down, and actually Eternal Fire has more utility. FlyQuest making an interesting decision to go all 3 to long. This is not elimination, this is upper bracket. DemQ's going to flash off, and then Vexite is able to get the instant headshot all onto MStar on the site. Not a ton of time left, so they need to find the kill quickly. MStar just kind of, I guess he didn't know that all 3 players were long, but not sure where to go and goes down. So that's a Force Spy victory for FlyQuest this time. Yeah, I believe the players left in winners would be like, there's Heroic, there's, I believe, are 100 Thieves? I think they lost a round, but I don't know if they went down to the lower bracket. Might have just been like the round robin. I'll check it after this game. But no, I know this round is not for elimination. In's not going to spot anyone jump spotting. He throws the molly anyway. But then they're going to throw a counter molly to get him off the angle and make him fall back. Two players from FlyQuest actually wanting it to be. Looks like it's the first back. In the meantime, Eternal Fire come to it from tunnels. And then the last guy finds Inns lurking in CT spawn. Story does find an offshot, turn it into a 2v2. Question is, they seem unsure as if they're going for it or not. I guess Story picking up the AK means he does want to give it a look. MQ finding the Tech 9 kill onto Story. Medic now doesn't even have enough time to win the round, but it doesn't matter. He's just going to get headshot by Joda. Yeah, I thought that was an interesting decision. The two players for FlyQuest on B, they were both watching the mid to B hit. And then in the meantime, two players from Eternal Fire came out from tunnels and just basically found them with their backs turned. FlyQuest have invested into this round. 3 pistols, 2 M4s. Interesting choice. So they've given an M4 to JKS, you know, obviously one of their highest firepower members, and then they've also given it to Nedic, who has moments of potential, but in this map he is not in, well, he's the bottom rated player for the team. Oh, I was wondering where the other player for FlyQuest was. So they're playing 4 players on B, 2 people in car, and then it's on to Inns to take care of the A site on his own. JKS, this is where you want this rifle. You need him to get a multi-kill. He gets the first kill, but that's it. All his teammates to trade him out. Nedic does actually get some good use out of that M4. In the meantime... Okay, wow. So Word2K tries to scale out into window. What did I just hit? Sorry. Tries to scale in through window, but then his teammate goes down, so there's no one watching him, and then the one of the members of FlyQuest just follows him into the window with the 5.7 there. So Eternal Fire making the same decision that FlyQuest just made to give their hero rifle to a player who's not the top performing. And well, it worked out for FlyQuest last round. It doesn't look like it's going to work out for Eternal Fire this round. It is all on to the Ukrainians of Eternal Fire. TMQ and Waro. They did have a nice 2v2 or 2v3 clutch in the pistol round, but this one's going to be a lot harder. FlyQuest just like, they know where Eternal Fire are, and they're just waiting because they know the bomb's down. MQ tries to pick up that rifle, but it's just a little bit too far. Have to stick with the Tech 9 for this one. Well, 2K does find a kill, and Story is low. But then Story peaks with Nedic's contact, and now Warrior 2K has unfortunately cooked this too long, goes down. 13-4 for FlyQuest. Other than a few rounds, like losing the conversion, pretty clean map from them. Much better than Mirage. All right, so let me do this. So FlyQuest are moving on to winners bracket upper semifinals. Who else is left? So we have Heroic will be facing FlyQuest tomorrow. And then Cybershock Oh, that's winners finals. Excuse me. This was upper semifinals. So the upper final tomorrow is Heroic versus FlyQuest. And then people left in losers, there's Ents, there is Eternal Fire, there's Cybershock, and then the winner of BetClick / 100 Thieves. And so some of those games will be Friday, and then it looks like lower finals and grand finals are Saturday. I will definitely be casting probably probably the later game tomorrow, and then the grand finals. Do I want to switch to the other game? No, I don't think I will. It's basically halfway through the second game, and we're already one game down. So yeah, thank you for watching, and maybe see you tomorrow. Take care.